you think Donald Trump's going to be back in office sometime soon?
Well, I think he's already been our president. That election.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, so you think he's actually president now?
I think he's not in the forefront, like on mainstream, like the fake Biden that has his fake. I mean, just look at the inaugural. It was fake. The weather that happened that day wasn't even the actual weather.
Oh, really?
So I don't believe anything.
Wait, so you think the inauguration was totally fake?
Anything that comes on the main TV is all BS.
Really? Okay, so where do you get your news, if you don't mind me asking?
I get my news from alternative, not from mainstream. I don't follow mainstream at all.
So we live in a nation where the trust in mainstream media is so catastrophically low that these days takes like this are the norm rather than the exception. What this woman is describing, how Donald Trump really is the president because Joe Biden is a fake actor and the inauguration was thus illegitimate, is a plot out of a Shakespearean tragedy like Macbeth or something, where the office of the US president isn't decided electorally, but by like the divine right of kings or something. And before we bash her and people who think like this, we have to recognize what is being pumped out over the airwaves to rile people up like this.
Okay, look, we're up front. I'm a talk show host. I'm a member of the press, Leo. I mean, we do straight news. I can produce thousands of hours of it. Investigative reporting, same thing. We do opinion, but we're honest about our opinions, and we say it's opinion. We do sports and culture. We're like a whole newspaper, no different. They claim they're journalists. Why can't they just own that they're talk show hosts like we are?
So that's Sean Hannity talking about how Fox does straight news. So is it any surprise that the majority of people who tune into these networks have just absolutely lost the plot on what's true and false? I have a lot of sympathy for Fox viewers, I'll admit. Once you start to trust a TV personality who is an entertainer, but constantly tells you that they are reporters of the truth, of course you begin to trust them over the people they are constantly telling you are the bad guys. This is human nature, and Fox News has figured out how to weaponize our tendency to gravitate towards people who play into our fears. Both sides of the mainstream media do this. CNN, MSNBC, their strategy is to entertain us by dividing us and getting us addicted to the narrative that they are selling, to the point where the other side seems like just complete idiots. But while it's in both sides' interests to do this, I think we saw with election denying claims this past year that the right can get really, really ugly with this. This is why independent media, places like TYT and online independent journalists are so important. We try, and I think succeed, in holding both sides of power accountable so that we don't have compromised interests or are beholden to a political party. Just the truth. Because when the truth is distorted by these larger media companies and audiences spend day in and day out listening to conspiracy theorists wearing suits and ties sitting in fancy corporate media offices, is it any surprise that the logical endpoint is a belief like this woman has? It's why we have to attract people like this with acceptance, no matter how hard it is. Because we're not going to defeat these corporate media machines like Fox with hatred and judgment. We have to do it with the truth, which luckily, as independent reporters, is on our side. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.